Want to welcome everybody to another episode of Hurt Feelings Uncut Podcast. I'm J Mo the Asshole.
Not stick nobody.
Man, oh man, oh man.
Yes, sir. He said it. Not you. Not me.
Man. I seen the funniest shit. And I gotta talk about it.
Yeah, we do need to talk about
Man,
this.
I seen this dude, and yes, I'm a TikTok head. You can follow me on TikTok. I'm Marcus Harris. Man, this dude said that what would happen to the black community and where would the black community be if white people didn't exist, right? He said that the world would fall into shit because if it wasn't for white people and the good things that they do to help sustain other countries and other communities, particularly the black community, we would be in disarray. I'm talking about, he said that just look at Africa. Africa is always needing aid and help and da 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 da. And look at America. We got Section 8 programs and welfare programs and
Food stamps
and
all of that.
Man, listen. Let's be honest. If white people did not exist in the world will be a lot more progressed and further along than it is now. And I mean technology-wise, economically, equality, the world would be a lot further. Not saying that there would not be any conflicts, but to the extent that we've had the conflicts in the world throughout history, they would not have happened the way they happened. You know what I'm saying?
If you pay attention to history, all the Europeans and the so-called white people, whatever you want to call them, because I'm not prejudiced, but let's just call it what it is. They call themselves always trying to conquer something, take over something, or control something, one way or another. Nowadays, it's the media.
Let's be honest. If Africa hadn't had anybody come in and try to conquer or colonize Africa, Africa would be the wealthiest and most powerful nation in the world. If none of that would have happened. Because, let's even go even further. If y'all would have left the black people that was in Africa, instead of bringing them to these other countries to do y'all labor for y'all, Africa will be a lot further. Because y'all took inventors, scientists, mathematicians, creators, because y'all didn't create shit. We taught white people how to bathe. We taught y'all mathematics. We taught y'all philosophy.
We taught y'all how to cook.
Taught y'all how to cook. Y'all was eating raw meat. Raw everything.
There wouldn't be no such thing as a stop sign or a light stop sign.
Elevator, telephone, refrigerator, freezer,
toilet. We could go on in that department.
They would be.
And I'm going to say this too. Just as well as you white folks that did what y'all did to us, some of us did it to us too. They ain't no different.
The concept of slavery was different. The concept of slavery was, hey, I'm in conflict with this tribe over here. We beat that tribe. We not gonna kill all of them. No, y'all gonna come and work for us for a time period. Y'all gonna come work for us for a time period, and y'all gonna earn the right to get y'all freedom, and or we'll even open up the door where y'all can be part of our community. You know what I'm saying? That's what the slavery was back then. It's called indentured servitude. Chattel slavery wasn't invented until white people started doing it.
They didn't want to pick no cotton. They didn't
want to do any work.
They didn't want to do nothing. They wanted us to pick the trees for them and cut the grass and do this, that, and the other. And they wonder why some of us are real good at doing what we do. And you didn't realize you taught us a trait that now you can't stand.
No.
And whose fault is that? If you just mind your business,
And left all of us
let
alone.
us go ahead and keep hunting bears, lions, and tigers, and whatever it is out there, in our little skimpy little leaf clothes, and blow darts and arrows and staff sticks. Guess what? People like you wouldn't even be able to make a comment like you made. And that comment don't just stand for my peoples. It stands for a lot of people.
A lot of people of color. Y'all would have stayed y'all behind in y'all country. Y'all probably would have been wiped out years ago.
I mean, the Moors did conquer Sicily. Y'all didn't like that.
This is one thing that they don't like to hear about in history, right? There's images in Russia of people worshiping black and melanated people as gods. In the Catholic Church in Rome, there's images of black people being worshipped as God. The Mother Mary is a black portrait in the Catholic Church. Come on, man. So, when it comes to society and the way shit is nowadays, bro, it ain't got nothing to do with black folks, because everything that we've tried to contribute, we tried to contribute for the betterment of the world.
Just think about this, white folks. If y'all hadn't have been meddling in our business, don't get me wrong, I understand that there was a few moments back in my day when parents were a little overzealous with discipline. But just think, if y'all hadn't intervened in every damn person's shit at a store, at the bus stop, kids act funny because they listen to what y'all say. And not just y'all, anybody. Because if I say, oh, don't mess with him, boo, 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 all that soft, subtle shit, that kid is eating it up. And he's getting away with doing more than he know he wouldn't do if I hadn't have said that.
Can I be real for a second?
Mm-hmm.
Even after everything that's happened in history with slavery and the colonizations of places,
Yeah.
when we fucking decided to actually have our own shit and build our own shit, they couldn't leave well enough for fucking long. We had our own towns, prospering towns, building our own wealth, money staying within the community. Y'all couldn't leave us the fuck alone.
No, what they do, they came in and started burning crosses in our yard.
Burning crosses, bombing and killing people.
And extorting us.
For what? If y'all would have, listen, sometimes I sit here and wonder and be like, man, where would the world be if we would have still had our Black Wall Street? Where would the world be if we would have had our towns that they didn't flood? You know what I'm saying? And built our communities, had our own farmlands and built our own wealth. Where would we be at right now? Will we be having the community issues that we have going on now? Would we be worried about these little dudes out here shooting and killing each other? No.
You're about right.
We wouldn't have none of these problems.
But just think, if they'd have let us as parents actually be more like parents,
Yep.
they wouldn't have another reason to have a conversation about black people.
If they wouldn't have went to the extreme efforts of taking the black man out the home, wouldn't be having a lot of these issues that we got going on.
First though, you wouldn't be able to go too far, say too much, do too much. Power to the people.
Yeah.
Don't mind me, y'all. I was just talking to my sister in the background. But period. Yeah, I had to do it. I know. But no. But really though, it's not just the bad part is Karma's such a motherfucker.
Man.
that what y'all took away from us, y'all got to deal with. And not just from my people, your own even worse.
They created their own issues. They created this demon. They created this monster. They created every issue that's going on with society. They created, and they trying to point their fingers at somebody to blame. If y'all would have left us well the fuck alone, none of this shit would have been going on. Like I said, we would have been just fine with our own shit.
And I'm saying this to all people of any color, natives, Asians, even the fucking Irish got fucked with. The Jews,
Yeah.
unfortunately, y'all did go through a nice little terror with Hitler, understandably.
Don't get the Jewish mixed with
The Jews. Don't mix up the Jewish people and the Jews.
I just did,
Undo it.
so it don't matter. Take it how you want to. That's why it's called what it's called.
The name of the podcast is what? Hurt Feelings Uncut Podcast.
You can decipher it how you want to.
Make sure
You
know
can
who
make
you're
what you
talking
want to make out of it.
Can't be anti-Semitic when we are the Semitic people.
The thing is this, you cannot control anything that doesn't want to be controlled when it already has its own control.
Yep.
If you leave it alone, it'll be okay. It's like a dog. If a dog's never had a home and that dog grew up by itself and it
It's
learned
gonna
how to
survive.
do what it do, it's gonna make it.
It'll
To
be a
take that
wild
dog
dog.
from its natural habitat, to put him or it or her or dog or bird or whatever in a different environment, what do you think that bird, dog, cat, whatever it is gonna do? It's gonna try to move around
Yep.
and branch out so that it can have its own.
Mm-hmm. It's gonna fight. It's gonna fight against adapting the shit.
Yeah.
It's gonna lash out.
And nothing you can do about it. And that's what y'all do. Y'all do that. And the bad part is the government. Y'all back that shit. Y'all do it so bad that, you know what? We might be a powerful country, but we weak as hell. And I'm going to tell you, and I don't care who likes what I'm saying, that's the reason why 9/11 happened. When you put puppies in a dog's cage, what do you think them puppies going to do? They going to become dogs.
Yeah.
And they got slick. They knew we wasn't going to be able to do none of that shit we did 9/11 from the outside in.
Listen,
We're going to do it from the inside out.
a lot of the wars that this country has been involved in is because this country cannot mind its own fucking business. If a country over there wants to have a coup d'etat and fight against their own regime, let them. But be-
Especially when you're dealing with my partner body. Especially when you're dealing with places like Afghanistan. They've been blowing each other up for decades. They've
Yes.
been blowing each other up since the beginning of time. When there wasn't no bombs, they was rocking and sticking each other to death
To death.
until technology stepped in there and showed them how to make bombs.
Because America decided to stick their nose into some shit that they ain't had nothing to do with. Oh, we see this side is gonna be beneficial to us, so we go back them.
Yeah, and
You
that's
know what I'm
why
saying?
I got a lot of respect for a lot of the Asian communities because they told our asses when we went over there with that Pearl Harbor shit. They said, leave us alone. Let us do what we've been doing. No, we wanted to stick our nose in it. What did they end up doing? They snuck up on our ass while we was out there playing golf. Not me, because I ain't a golfer. But you know who you are. You sitting out there with your cigars on your yachts and playing, and they came through this motherfucker nice and quiet, not even detected on radar. Well, we supposed to have the most high-tech shit out here.
Stop
And
blowing
blew
shit
your
up.
ass back.
Stop
and people
blowing shit
think
up.
that we won that shit? No. History twisted that shit.
Listen, Vietnam, the United States lost.
I'm gonna tell you something about that. See, my dad was in Vietnam, and he told me one thing. A lot of us got killed by our own bullets.
Yep.
Yep. My daddy said that.
We killed ourselves.
Yep.
So a lot of them brothers and sisters, I got no disrespect intended to anybody who served this country to protect me, to be able to speak how I'm speaking, I have nothing but respect for you. But at the same time, y'all keep putting yourself out there and we become spoils of war.
For somebody else's conflict that, let's be honest, like I said, a lot of these we ain't got shit to do with. We
Well-
have nothing to do with whatever the fuck's going on in Afghanistan. We ain't got shit to do with what's going on in Korea. We ain't
Right.
got shit to go on in India,
Nobody's
Vietnam.
even messing with America.
The
That's
fuck
the
do we have
problem.
to-
Nobody's messing with us because at one point in time, we stuck to our own.
Yeah,
We
but
stayed out of people's shit.
New World Order.
Think about it. Think about the Western days.
New World
People
Order.
that was from Minnesota didn't mess with people from Texas. People from Texas didn't mess with people from New York. And this was before any of these places was even called that shit. It was just land everywhere. It was north, south, east, and west. Some of us went out there, migrated far enough into the woods that we ended up out there 30, 40 years, families, all that shit. We had corn and cows and pigs and all that shit. Y'all wanted to come through this motherfucker with the trains. So y'all started messing with the Asians. That was before we got touched. If y'all don't pay attention. It was the Asians who started that shit with the trains. They had them out there in that black and white outfits. Chain gang. And then they started fucking with the Irish. Had them over here right beside the motherfucking Asians. Building everything we see that these motherfucking trains come through to today. That shit goes all the way back past the 1700s.
So to go back to the original comment, where would the world be if white people didn't exist? The world would be just fine.
Better place.
A better place. We wouldn't concern ourselves with anybody else's country. Nothing. It'd be about trading and commerce. Y'all got gold, y'all got jewels, y'all got precious metals and all that stuff. Or hey, we trying to do this over there. What can we barter with? We got oil over here.
Mm-hmm.
Come on now.
Yeah, but at least it would have been done feasibly.
And when we go to war, we will have a reason.
Oh yeah, you disrespecting my family.
And it would
You're
be it would
disrespecting my
be a
land.
whole nation against a whole nation. It'd be a group of people.
Against a
Group of people. That's it.
and then they come over here, and then the bad part is, all these people y'all getting their business about, y'all send them over here. We got enough shit of our own over here. Y'all send them over here to add on
Or we
to the bullshit.
send money over to other countries that don't give two shits about us to aid them in their conflicts, to help them get out of a bad situation.
When we have a homeless
We
crisis.
got a homeless crisis over here. We got a hunger crisis over here. We got all these issues here in America, but
Yeah.
y'all want to spend
Yeah.
all this unnecessary money for everybody else instead of taking care of home.
And I blame the rich for that. Because you know what, you guys are rich for a reason.
It's called big selfishness.
And y'all could help out a lot of homeless people.
They don't know what the word means.
If y'all would just actually pay attention to what it is, it's okay when it's us, but let it be one of yours.
Listen, the 1% that is wealthy in the world can give $1 million to each person in this country.
I wouldn't even go that far.
I'm d-
Check it out, people. If every rich motherfucker in this world or anybody wealthy
just
enough
in this
to
country.
give
I'm not saying the world. This country.
to people that are really less fortunate. I mean, don't get me wrong. I know we sent rice and shit over to fucking places like Ethiopia and all that shit, but we needed that shit here just as well. Y'all start shit like the March of Dimes to help people over there. When y'all gonna do that for the March of the United States
They're not.
and help people over here?
They not.
It's a
They
lot of
they
people
want the
out here.
resources of the world for themselves.
And that's the reason why communities like this that we live in be so filled. And we'll say statements like this: man, it's too small in this city. It ain't that it's too small. It's just that y'all keep us all in one goddamn area. Y'all don't allow us to expand.
Nope.
Because y'all fear the fact that if we expand, we're going to be able to do something that y'all can't control. That's sad.
That's the biggest fear that the world has, is us as black people. If we were to ever come into power, the things that were done to us will be done to them.
And the bad thing is, for my peoples who are wealthy and well off, it's funny. Y'all got away from one slavery, one slave master,
To get into another.
to get into the hands of another.
Yeah.
And
For you to keep your wealth, you got to do whatever the fuck they tell you to do.
yeah, so you either gonna rise above or put on a dress.
Or doing what?
Uh-huh.
Or kill somebody.
Or sacrifice one of your family
Yeah,
members.
there's always some weird shit in it. It's never just,
Or eat
okay,
some shit.
that's a decent black guy right there. I'm gonna look out for him. With nothing involved. You always got a hidden agenda.
That's a decent black guy right there. I'm gonna piss on his face and record it, and then give him a record deal.
And use it
Yeah.
as blackmail, or so he got to do what I tell him to do.
Or I'm gonna tell everybody he had these cherry heels on with that white cock in his mouth.
Right. Even
Yeah.
though he was on drugs.
And
he
you
was
know the bad
unaware.
part is, the ones you did put the cock in the mouth to are now putting their cock in somebody
In
else's
his
mouth.
mouth.
Yep.
So it'll never stop. It'll never stop.
Oh yeah, we talking about the whole entertainment industry, bro. It's all,
All of
jacked
that.
up.
You think people go out there just because they might be lyrically talented? That's all it takes?
No, I'm
Uh-uh.
convinced that they getting people out the LD class. I ain't even gonna lie.
Man, think about
That's my wife in the background, everybody. See,
it. She's solid with that shit.
she's solid with it.
And let me tell you something. If you are a talented male, female, whatever you want to call yourself as this other shit,
Pay attention to what them contracts look like. Pay attention to them people that's around you. Pay attention and be aware of what you surrounding yourself around, because there is some plotting and scheming.
going on
Yeah.
strongly. And the bad part is the LGBT community. I forgot the Q. My bad. Like we said in the podcast before too, I respect y'all for who y'all are as human beings. But y'all have to ask yourself what we asking y'all. It'll be okay once we see you guys have your own podcast and actually talk outside of your own box.
Yep. Not the agenda that they want y'all to talk about. Not talking the narrative. No, man. That's a whole nother podcast, bro. Cause I'll tell
Oh,
you
we'll
about
say
it.
that for another day.
I seen another video,
Yeah.
but hit that like, share, subscribe, comment.
Ding, ding, ding.
It's all appreciated. Change
Yeah,
notifications.
there's
all-
nothing you can say that's gonna hurt my feelings, because I got thick skin for this for a reason.
That's the reason why we do it. I'm J Mo the asshole.
Todd Stick Nobody.
This Uncut Hurt Feelings Uncut podcast.
Deuces.